Hello everyone, I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version. This time I'd like to talk about how to get money or how to obtain money without working or without work. I mean, to get some money or to get money without work. You need some amount of money, and what you have to do with some amount of money is to purchase stocks or shares of some huge companies, which means I will tell you again. What you have to do is to purchase the stocks or the shares of some huge companies, which means as you imagine, huge companies are secure, which means it's huge company in every developed country or in every huge in every huge country, you know, huge companies are thought to be secure, or huge companies are regarded as secure, which means if you are employee of huge company huge company like GAFA, for example, if you're employee of Google or Amazon or Facebook or Apple, you know you don't have to be worried about bankruptcy of those companies. I mean, because huge companies do not frequently bankrupt. So the most secure or the securest or the safest way to get money without work is to purchase the stocks or the shares of such huge companies. And how you can get money is that those huge companies, though every company generates dividends. Dividends are money generated from, or given from those companies to the shareholders or the stockholders of those huge companies. And dividends are calculated depending on or based on the amount of the stocks you own. If you have some amount of stocks, which is why if you'd like to get some sort of money, what you have to do is to purchase stocks or shares of huge companies. And nowadays, many types of businesses are popular, and the typical examples of how to get money without work are, for example, the stock trading I have just told you, and other manners are, for example, real estate, real estates and FX, forex currencies, or forex trading. And this is the most popular example in these days. That is cryptocurrency trading, which is really popular in these days, like Ethereum or bitcoins, stuff like them. They are called cryptocurrency, aren't they? And although they are really popular, but I recommend you stock trading or stocks or shares, because comparing with other 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 stuff like real estates, cryptocurrency, or FX, stocks and shares are secure. You know, I I limit this story to only the stocks or shares of huge companies, because there are many companies, and small companies aren't secure. What I recommend you is to purchase. What I recommend you is purchasing the stocks or shares of huge companies, not the stocks or shares of small companies. And for example, in the case of cryptocurrencies, they don't give you dividends. Only benefit you can get is you know so how should I tell you, capital gain. You have to get the money from cryptocurrency by by purchasing and selling, which means you have to buy cryptocurrency at a lower price, and you have to sell the cryptocurrency at a higher price, which is how you can get benefit. Which is how you have to get the benefit. Which means you can't purchase cryptocurrency at a higher price, and you can sell those cryptocurrencies at lower price than you purchased or you bought. So and real estates are secure, but estates are safer. But like comparing with cryptocurrency, but real estates are really expensive, and so most realistic manner is to collect stocks or shares, and real estates are which means houses might be partly destroyed, which is how which is why in cases you have to pay some costs, some monetary costs. So considering which in which case you have to work. You need some sort of work. For example, which one has to pay money between you, which means if you become the owners of some houses, you have to decide which party to pay. Like you have to pay the money for the loss of the part of the house, because you are the owner of the house or the tenement, and the tenant has to pay because the tenant broke or tenant destroyed some part of the house, which is what you have to which is what you have to think, or which is what you have to talk about in some cases. And in the case of stock trading or stock owning, you don't have to even think about such a thing, because those huge companies have to do everything from the destructions of their own properties or the destructions of their facilities to who to hire for their own businesses. And what you have to pay is only tax, or the loss of capital gain, stuff like that. If you purchase at a higher price, and if you sell at a lower price, you have to pay the loss. So if you buy some stocks or shares at a lower price, and if you sell at higher prices, higher than you bought, you can get capital gain. So considering which, I recommend you buying or using stocks or shares of huge companies for piling or generating your own wealth, because you can get, of course you can get benefits as a ways of dividends. Dividends are as I told you, dividends are money for generated by the business of those companies, and secure. And I will tell you again, huge companies are secure and safer than other small companies. That's it. Thank you very much for your listening. See you.